Try to imagine the unbelievable pain of having a grandson killed in a freak accident at just the age of 19. Then on top of that, you wind up drowning in debt just trying to pay off his student loan.
That's what happened to Bill and Sarah Hall of Belleville after their grandson Dan fell from a tall bridge just after enrolling in art school. Years later, Bill and Sarah called Bill Spencer and the Call for Action team for help.
Inside an old barn in Belleville, Michigan, Bill Hall cuts worthless chunks of dried-on paint and then shapes and polishes them into beautiful pieces of jewelry.
When I first started seeing it on the floor, I could see the colors.
Bill's pastor at church says that's exactly what God does.
He used the paint as an example about how Jesus saves us. We're just junk on the floor. He makes something out of us.
5 years ago, Bill and his wife Sarah say their 19-year-old grandson, Dan Jr., was aiming to shape himself into a commercial artist. So he enrolled at the Art Institute of Tennessee. But to get a student loan, he needed his grandparents' help.
Said, I need a loan to go to school, to the art school. And said they won't give me one until I have a cosigner.
Dan made good on his promise to enter art school, but just 3 months later, Dan was tragically killed while playing with some friends on a bridge over the Cumberland River in Clarksville, Tennessee.
And so he probably got up too far and just slipped and fell. It was the worst day of our life.
Years later, that horrific moment still haunts Bill and Sarah every day. But on top of all the pain, for nearly 5 years now, Bill and Sarah have been forced to pay the Sallie Mae student loan program payments of $93.92 every single month to pay off their late grandson's $8,849 student loan.
I wrote them a letter and asked them, I said, why should I pay this? Why do I need to pay this? Because Dan Jr.'s not here.
Finally, sick and tired of it, Bill Hall told his wife Sarah to call me and the Call for Action team. Right away, we contacted officials at the Art Institute of Tennessee and the Sallie Mae Loan Program. Officials at the Art Institute told us they had nothing to do with collecting the payment of Dan Hall Jr.'s student loan. So we contacted Sallie Mae, and after several calls, Sallie Mae agreed to wipe out the entire remainder of that loan, more than $6,500. Wipe it off of their books entirely, removing the burden of paying that $6,500 from Bill and Sarah's sturdy shoulders.
Oh, I appreciate it so much. I'm really thankful that they've helped do as much as they have because, you know, I didn't know what to do before. And they've been very nice, very supportive, very sympathetic.
And they're such sweet people, the Halls, Bill and Sarah. This was a very, very big case. $6,500 wiped off the books by the Sallie Mae Loan Program. We want to thank Sallie Mae officials for doing that. It's important to tell you also that Sallie Mae has changed its policy. As of 2009, if, for example, your son or daughter were to take out a student loan and then be killed or to die, the entire debt is immediately forgiven. That's a change in those rules. Remember, if you have a problem you can't solve, call our hard-working Call for Action team at 248-827-3362, 248-827-3362. I'm Bill Spencer. Call for Action.
Yeah, I'm so glad you could help them. It only makes sense to have it forgiven.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, apparently they changed their policy to be such, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.